Hi, I'm Alejandro Landes, the director of MONOS, and let's take a first look.
Good job!
Well, monos is actually a play on words because mono can be blonde, can be cute, can be sweet. But where I got the idea from was basically from the Greek root mono, which is one, because the film, what it does is it narrates the tension between one and the group, right? The individual and the group. And that's what you feel that happens to us every day on the street, right? How we manage our aloneness together with the world we co-inhabit with everyone else. I hadn't seen a so-called war film told from the point of view of a country like mine, like Colombia. Because one thing is to see the English in India or the Americans in Vietnam, or for example, the French in Africa, but a developing country like Colombia in a sort of nebulous civil war. What happens, and I feel like that's very indicative of the type of conflict that we see today, my generation sees today in Syria or places like that. And so I wanted to come at it through kind of the exploration of something more primal, elemental, kind of dynamics between being alone and being in a group. Things that I read when I was the age of the protagonist in the movie, things like Heart of Darkness by Conrad and Lord of the Flies, of course, which we've all read in school. And speak to the canon of war films like Come and See, which is a very special film, Claire Denis' Beau Travail, Apocalypse Now, of course, maybe something like Platoon. I mean, I think there was a lot of different interests, both in cinematically, playing with sometimes the action or the war or the horror genre, but creating something that stands on its own as well. So I think it came at it with that, and also Colombia's chance to make peace recently in a very long-running civil war. I think that also made me think of the film. Yeah. It's an absolute beast of a shoot. We were shooting at 14,000 feet up in the air, very little oxygen. The weather changes on a dime. You can't really follow the shooting plan that's on paper in any way. You have minors, you have non-actors, you have animals, you have special effects, you have digital effects. I mean, you have several different languages spoken on set. I mean, it really took everyone to the limits of what they could do with their bodies and their minds. And we went later to the jungle, and to get there we needed like mules and the Colombia's national kayak team. I mean, it was a family of illegal gold miners who were living in the river, and they were our guides down there. I mean, the stars really had to align to make this film. In Colombia, you don't have professional actors for kids that are 13 or 14 years old, right? I mean, very few people in the world have had that much acting experience when they're 13 years old or 14. And that juxtaposes with the characters that have a lot of experience, like Moises Arias, who you've seen since he's 10 in Hannah Montana. And then you have the great Julianne Nicholson, who was with us as well. And some of the kids have done maybe some acting in school, and others have never been before camera in their lives. And some of them come from like urban skating cultures, and others come from deep in the countryside, and I met them while they were carrying vegetables to the market with their parents. They come from all sorts of places. We looked at over 800 kids to find the 8 that would be the monos. Born out of something real, which is an alias. When you take part of a clandestine army, a rebel army, it's very common to have a nom de guerre, right? To have a sort of AKA, if you will, and that's very typical. And then also because it was very important for the characters to have a lot of specificity to them, but also work in this kind of otherworldly sense, right? The film doesn't give you a first and a last name. It doesn't give you a date. It doesn't give you a country. It doesn't allow you to grab onto those things that make us feel more secure.